I'm at a loss for words over what I've just witnessed. Chelsea 2, Everton 2, draw at home. Absolutely pathetic. Where do I even begin? For me, has to be with Graham Potter. Potter, your substitutions cost us this game. You had the lead twice, and you made the most negative defensive substitutions of all time. By the end of the game, it was 2-all, Chelsea going for the goal in the final minutes, and our only attacker on the pitch was Kai Havertz because you used every other substitution on a defensive minded substitution to try to hang on to the result. It's pathetic. It's disgraceful. Look, you go up 1-0, and immediately, 10 minutes later, you sub on Conor Gallagher for Pulisic, a substitution that you have made pretty much every game, it feels like. Gallagher comes on pretty much every game for a winger, and he just runs around. Pretty much it's a defensive-minded substitution. I don't like it. It basically, once I see Conor Gallagher come into the match, I say, okay, we're parking the bus from here on in. We're going to try to hang on to the result. And that does not work always in football. Sure, sometimes you can get away with it, but you can't always get away with it. And this was a prime example of that. Sometimes you have to keep going for it. You have to keep going for more goals. And in this case, Chelsea, they were able to respond. Even after the substitution, Everton, they equalized, and then Chelsea get a penalty. Kai Havertz scores. It goes to 2-1. Okay, you have your chance here. You know what I mean? Keep pushing forward. Don't sit back from here on in. But what do? Sub off Kovacic for Ruben Loftus-Cheek. You sub off João Felix, and then you sub off Fofana for Chalobah. 3 defensive substitutions, once again. It's an absolute joke. What I just witnessed is an absolute joke. These substitutions cost us the game. Let's not forget who we have on the bench. None Madueke. What was the point of even signing him? We barely use him. Mudryk, still on the bench, coming off of an assist in the last game where he started to be playing well. Not used. Do I even have to go through? I mean, N'Golo Kante was back into the squad. Of course, that would have been a more defensive-minded substitution, but I would have liked to have seen him get an appearance. It's one of those things. What is the point of having these attackers on the bench if you're never going to bring them on? It doesn't matter that you want to hang on to the result. The defense has been solid all game, but you insist on bringing more pressure by sitting further back, bringing on these defensive-minded substitutions. I don't get it. And you do it every single game. It's like any Chelsea fan knows. When we score, you expect Conor Gallagher to come on for an attacker within the next 5 to 10 minutes. It's like clockwork. You expect the sun to rise in the morning. I expect Conor Gallagher to get subbed on for Chelsea after we score in a defensive-minded substitution. It's clockwork. You come to expect it. And it's a joke. It is an absolute joke. So this match, it's on you, Potter. I've given you credit recently, and I'm not sitting here saying Potter out because he has impressed me recently. Overall, we played good football today. But your substitutions, your decision-making cost us this game, in my eyes. Because we played good football. The tactics, I think, were well. We actually, of course, whenever you're playing Everton, a Sean Dyche system, they're going to sit back. It's going to be defensive. So I understand it's not going to be easy to break down. We were finally able to do that with Joao Felix. And then when they equalized, we were able to get a penalty and go up 2-1. So I understand that you think, okay, we can just sit back here, let Everton come at us, and then we can just hold out for a 2-1 win or a 1-0 win when you originally did it. But that's not the case. Everton, they responded well every single time, and I give credit to them. And that final goal scored by Ellis Sims. First of all, I give Sims a lot of credit. Fantastic goal. But Koulibaly absolutely skinned. Looked like a rotisserie chicken out there. Kepa, what was the point? It might as well have no goalkeeper in there for that shot. Literally, Kepa, might as well have been no goalkeeper because you should have easily saved that. That should have been saved. That's one you look back on it. I saw the replay and I said, oh my God, how did he not save that? Look, I'm not going to sit here and say Kepa the whole season has been terrible, but it's one of those things. Kepa, he's so inconsistent. He'll put on good games, then he'll have games like this where ultimately he kind of cost us the game. Sometimes the keeper has to bail you out. That's every great keeper can bail out a team sometimes. Alisson, he will bail out Liverpool sometimes. De Gea for Man United. He has some stinkers sometimes, but he will bail out United sometimes. Ederson will bail out Man City sometimes. The Courtois for Real Madrid bails them out sometimes. Ter Stegen for Barcelona. I watch Barcelona play and I say, man, Ter Stegen is so good. He bails them out and they're going to win the title. So it's one of those things. You have to have a keeper that can sometimes bail you out. Koulibaly is not going to be perfect. You know what I mean? He can't be perfect. Did he get skinned for that goal? Yes. But Kepa should have bailed him out and made that save. But it's one of those things. None of that should have happened if we don't make these defensive substitutions from Graham Potter. If we make the proper substitutions, proper decision making by the manager, we're not even in that position. We're not even in that position. So how much blame do I really give to them? Based on what happened, of course, I give the players some blame for making those mistakes. But I don't think those players would have ever been in that situation in the first place if Graham Potter made the right decisions tactically with his decision making substitutions. So it's one of those things. I don't even know who to give more to the blame to, but I'm going to give more of the blame to Graham Potter here because I think how can you go in that I don't know what to call it. It was like a fan event, and you say we're going to try to beat Everton, and we're going to try to win the fucking Champions League. That was his words, and then this is what you do. This is what you do. You're talking about trying to win the Champions League in a fan event, and this is what you do against Everton. It's an absolute joke. You think Real Madrid are sitting here typing in Chelsea and saying we draw to Everton? You think that they have any fear? They're laughing. Luka Modric is literally sitting there laughing his ass off right now. Florentino Perez is laughing to the bank saying we've already made the semifinals right now. That's what Real Madrid are saying. You think that they have any fear of Chelsea? No. So it's one of those things. The fact, I don't even know what to say. I was confident going into this match, of course, but I'm also, based on the performances I've been seeing, I was like, okay, we have a chance against Real Madrid. But based on what I just saw, you're going to play like that against Real Madrid? Come on, man. It has to be better. And it's one of those things. Now, looking forward for Chelsea, it's like, where do you even go from here? You know what I mean? Where do you go? Because I see the same mistakes happening every time. And ultimately, within the 3-game win streak, we won the game, so we've gotten away with it. But at this point, something has to change. Graham Potter has to realize that these defensive subs are making the difference. They're costing us. And it's one of those things. Now we have a long break. The international break is coming. We don't play again in the Premier League until April 1st against Aston Villa. So we have time, and hopefully that gives Graham Potter some time to figure some things out. The players who don't go to their nations, hopefully they can continue to train and things like that. But this is not how you want to go into the international break with the draw to Everton. If we had won this match, that's 4 on the bounce going into the international break, that's a lot of momentum. This has completely killed all momentum for Chelsea. All momentum. It's back to being negative. Now the conversation is going to be same old Chelsea. Real Madrid are going to batter us, this and that. And the narrative could have been so different had Graham Potter made the proper substitutions, made the right decisions. So I'm just so gutted, man. I'm so gutted after that performance because it was good football. I think every Chelsea fan can sit there and say we were obviously the better team. Of course, we created more chances and played good football. I mean, Joao Felix, what a performance, but he got subbed off. You know what I mean? And you didn't even get subbed off for a Mudryk. You got subbed off, for a negative defensive substitution. In this case, Chukwuemeka. I said his name wrong, but it's one of those things. It's just gutting. It's gutting. But Chelsea fans, what do you think about this match? What were your initial takes, reactions to this game? Are you seeing it like I am? Are you blaming it on Graham Potter, his decision making? I think that's the general consensus I've seen from other Chelsea fans. But you're going to have to let me know in the comments down below. What did you think of this match? Do you have the same takeaways as me? Let me know in the comments down below. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel for more football content. Without further ado, I will see you next time for another video. Peace.